What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Good Morning Tottenham. We got Brian Daigle back in the studio. Mr. 100K, Mr. Brian Daigle, thank you so much for all the work you did yesterday, pushing us up to over 100K. We're on the 100K 350 now. I mean, the work that you did yesterday, the numbers that you produced yesterday was just unbelievable. Really,
mate,
unbelievable.
Honestly, it was an absolute honour and privilege to be here and do it. Yeah, I was going a bit crazy with it yesterday. As I said to you, I felt like an auctioneer going down as opposed to going up. But listen, mate, you guys do all the hard work, and as we've been saying, and as a lot of people have been saying, it's all because of the work you've done and content and love you've given us that we all wanted to push for it, and you got there, and it is richly deserved.
Thank you, man. And like seeing, you on the fan show asking people what their favourite We Are Tottenham TV moment is and stuff like that. I mean, all the answers, I did watch them through, and it brought a tear to my eye almost.
It should do.
David Harris, the Irish Hotspurs message yesterday was just really touched my heart. It was unbelievable.
Well, you know what, as I said, David and I literally came onto your show around the same time, like literally, and then obviously he's gone on to do his channel, and then myself, Ireland, and obviously when we're part of Tottenham Away have done theirs. And we've grown at a pace and always been coming onto your show. But it's just like the love and support you give every single channel. And you have, when Dave said it, people need to understand what goes on behind the scenes as well. It's not just we talk on these streams. There's WhatsApp groups, we meet up. There's so much. You have, and Simeon have changed people's lives.
It's unbelievable. Because, when you just doing your day-to-day thing, coming in, obviously working very hard on the channel, the guys in the back end, Vinny, Jake, Sam, that help us really, a lot day to day. But when you're just working, you don't think about these kind of things. You just don't. And when people say it and tell it to us, you're like, wow, is this like kind of the impact we're having on people? And it just blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind.
It really should. And like I said to you earlier, what's blowing everyone else's mind is when you said that all your subscribers can't fit into Wembley Stadium. I mean, that when you put it into that kind of context, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, and a tremendous achievement.
Definitely. Thank you so much. We've got a super chat here from Tom Edgels. Says, hi guys, congratulations on 100K. Been a subscriber since the 7-1 victory against Hull. And when your granddad used to call Wanyama Wagamamas. I remember that. So that's definitely one of the highlights, that's for sure. Love that. But is the press conference ready? All right, the press conference is ready. So how we're going to structure this video, we're going to go through the press conference, listen to everything that Antonio Conte has said, and then we're going to be giving a bit of a match review, and then we're going to be getting guests on and speaking to them. So looking forward. And just before actually we go on, I want to give a plug to Josh RG's stream. He's been going for nearly 24 hours. I think he's actually going into his last hour now.
Yeah, he's finishing at 12. He's
finishing at 12, but just do go over there, give him a bit of a support, give him a message of encouragement, because he's doing it for such a good cause. I've actually been trying. I see the Just Giving link is now up on the live chat on his stream. So just go give a small donation, whatever you can afford, because it really is for a really good cause. So I'm going to put the link to the stream in the chat now. I'm going to pin it up for you guys. But do go over there and have a look, because it really is for an amazing cause, a charity that's associated with his daughter as well. So, yeah, I was in there last night watching, and it was good fun. He was struggling already last night, so it's interesting to see how he's doing now. You were on there last night.
I've been on there. So I was on there before I came here. And he's been doing forfeits for every single £100 that he donates. They've actually doubled. He had a target of 500. They've actually hit over 1,000.
I feel like you two in a bit of a competition. Who can be the most craziest guy?
Yeah. I mean,
you love your forfeits.
Well, we do. I think there are more forfeits to come from me and him. We're talking about a possible show going ahead, me and him. But yeah, he's had to shave his head off. He has shave his hair off. He has eaten a Scotch bonnet, raw in one. He has Scotch bonnet. You know the hot chili?
Oh.
He has.
How was that reaction to that?
That one I didn't get to see, but what I did get to see is he had some Korean noodles that are like they're called, I can't remember, smoke, but it's with raw chili extract, all chili flake, and he did that just before I came. He shaved his hair off. He's been singing. He's been doing a lot of crazy stuff.
All right, so yeah, everyone go out over there and show him some love because, like I said, he's been streaming for 24 hours, 23 hours, one more hour to go to his 24th. So let's give him the final push for that last hour and help him get through it because I know he is struggling. He's on his last legs at the moment, which you can kind of understand. And you know what? Give him a little donation as well if you can because it's for an absolutely unbelievable cause. I actually haven't donated yet, so I got to do it as soon as possible. But anyway, let's get into Antonio Conte's press conference.
You made of the performance and whether you thought the goal was going to come at the end.
Yeah, but I think at the end it was good and to find a way to get 3 points and. Against Southampton, we weren't able to find a way. I repeat, I think that during the game, when you created chances to score, you have to try to exploit this chance because, especially in this type of game, when your opponent is well organized, no defensively, with the 9 players, 10 players behind the line. Behind the ball, and it's not easy. I think that we have a team that is very good if we find space to attack. And when we find a team that they are very narrow, and they defend very well with all the team under the ball, we need to improve. And I know that we have space for improvement. And also to improve the quality in the finished pass. Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. Alistair Gold will go to you next.
Congratulations, Antonio, and Happy New Year to you. You've kind of touched on it there right at the end. I was going to ask you, obviously the ball from Son for Davinson Sanchez was a wonderful ball into the box, but were you disappointed with the standard of the crossing into the box before that?
For sure, we need to improve. We need to improve under this aspect because when you play in this system, with this formation, and for us it's very important the win backs. And when the ball arrives there, and we must be more effective. I know very well that this role is a role of very where you spend a lot of energy because you become a striker, a winger, and when we are in possession ball, and then you become a right back or a left back when we are without the ball. But I think at the same time we have a young player with the space for improvement. Also today, I have seen great commitment of all the players, but for sure we have to improve in many aspects, in the quality, but we have to try the time, also to work under this aspect, and to play every 3 days or every 2 days is not easy. Yeah, but I repeat, I'm delighted for the commitment, for the performance of the play. Another clean sheet, and I repeat, we are showing that we are showing solidity, also, and in this aspect.
And can I just ask you, Hugo Lloris didn't have a lot to do today, but he made that obviously a fantastic save. Does that show exactly why you want to keep him at this club beyond the summer?
Yeah, for sure. But and you can see the level of the keeper in these circumstances. When for the whole game he didn't make a save, but when it was. He continued to be focused, to be focused with the team. For me, it's very important because when I speak with him, when I speak with the team, and the link, the connection with the keeper and the team is very important. It's very important because especially when you defend very high, with the defensive line, the keeper has to follow the game, and not only to stay on the line on the goal to make save. And Hugo today showed that he's really top, and he's always focused. And for us, is very important. And I'm sure that in a short time they can find a solution with the club, because he loves Tottenham. Tottenham loves him.
Any more questions, guys? No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, so that was every word Antonio Conte has said on the game yesterday. Nice and short press conference, but when Antonio speaks, what do? You listen. That's exactly what you do. So
Yep.
I think, good words for Antonio. But let's get into the match review from yesterday. Just before we do, I got a super chat here from Adam Campbell saying, congrats on hitting 100k. It's been a pleasure to have followed this channel as it grows. Since moving north, I've been cut off from the Spurs community. You guys have helped me feel connected again. Adam, you are never disconnected from the Spurs family as long as we're around. So
Correct.
Thank you very much for the support you've given us over the years. But let's get into the match review. So Watford 0, Tottenham 1 at Vicarage Road yesterday. Let's be honest, it wasn't a spectacle yesterday. It was kind of, the way I look at it, it was like pretty much defence against attack yesterday. Watford played with pretty much 2 banks of 4, park the bus, a very much an extremely low block, made it very hard for Spurs to break them down, and Spurs had what, like 70% possession or something yesterday, and we just found it so hard to break them down, found it so hard to create chances yesterday. They were letting Emerson and Reguilon get the ball no problems, and Emerson and Reguilon were struggling to get good crosses in the box. I mean, I heard in the first half we made 29 crosses. 29 crosses in the first half, which was predominantly from Emerson and Reguilon. And their quality yesterday was so bad, wasn't it?
It really, really was. Emerson had all the time and possession in the world. We've said it before, you and me on this show, and a lot of the Spurs community. Emerson needs to work on that crossing ability. He really, really does. And I think Ariane said it on the fan show yesterday. I don't think we were expecting the low block, because Watford have just gone out and gone guns blazing. Yeah. And all of a sudden against us, that they completely changed tactics, which I think threw us off a bit. But yeah, they were very, very well organised. But going back to Reguilon's crossing is normally good, but he's not crossing as much as he used to when he first came. Whereas Emerson is crossing all the time, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can have so many crosses and just no chances whatsoever. No chances. I mean, can you imagine if we had someone that can cross the ball on the right wing yesterday? Like, let's say, for argument's sake, you had a Trent playing there yesterday. We'd have won like 6-0 yesterday.
Oh, easy. Even if you go back and say we had a Kieran Trippier.
Yeah. We would have won 3-0.
Exactly. I mean, I'm by no means comparing Trippier to Trent Alexander. To me, Trent Alexander-Arnold is easily the best right back in the world. And if we could take any player from Liverpool, I say it's always him every single time, even over Salah. I love him. But yeah, Emerson needs to work on this. You could see Conte comment on it, couldn't you? You could see he's not happy with that, but it was something we work on.
Yeah, definitely. But when you were sitting here yesterday for the game, I mean, what were your feelings throughout the game? I mean, in terms of Antonio Conte's starting lineup, did you think he got it right? The system he played, do you think he got it right?
Starting lineup, when I was doing it with Simeon on New Year's Eve, the one position we thought was maybe wings for Højbjerg. But when you saw it, you can't argue with that team. We played very well against Palace, and I reckon that is, at the moment, his preferred 11, let's say. I think that is the, if he could, that would be the 11 he'd play for all the important games in Premier League. And I felt fine with it, because I honestly thought Watford were going to come out and attack, and that team would dismantle them. But the further and further it went on, you could see that wasn't going to happen. You and me discussed it before, and I said again with the substitutions, but you thought they were a little bit late. And when I look back on it, I agree with you. But they turned out to be right. And again, Harry Winks came on. And it's from that moment. I mean, he started moving the ball forward a lot quicker. We started getting a bit more momentum. And he only came on and had a cameo, but it was a bloody good cameo at that.
It was. Do you think he's playing his way into the starting 11 now, Winks?
I think he's a serious candidate.
And who would he take his place of, Skip or Højbjerg?
Listen, Højbjerg I love. He needs a rest, though. We can't keep doing it. I mean, he has played non-stop football for God knows how long now, and he needs a rest. He needs a rest. I think it will be for him, but I think the great thing with this is, like we say with Romero coming back, it's competition. And it gives Conte. Well, beforehand we would have said, before the Liverpool game, we said, "Oh no, we've made the team weaker because Winks in there." Whereas now, I don't think we are.
Yeah. I think it's definitely seeing more options all over the pitch. In terms of our kind of attacking line yesterday, Moura, Son, Kane. Out of the three, I'd probably say Kane had the best performance out of the three. Lucas, I think he was peppering them. He looked a bit dangerous, but still, probably not as didn't he reach the heights of what he has done in the past couple of games. Sonny worrying a little bit. I think he was probably the worst out of the three. But funnily enough, he was the one that produced the moments out of the three as well.
Yep.
Because he was the one that had that really good chance at the end with that beautiful, actually, ball from Lucas Moura over the top into Sonny, and keeper made a really good save. And then he was the one that put in that inch perfect cross, didn't he, for Davinson?
Yep. I mean, let's break that. So Kane had a very good game. You really can see he's going back to, or getting back to the standard that we've become accustomed to. Lucas kind of tried to do what he was doing against Palace, but Watford were a lot more organised. You can see Lucas would always try, but Watford were very resilient in what they were doing. Now, I'm happy we're talking about Heung-min Son, because now I get to kind of explain myself, because a few people in the comments and on YouTube and in the chat seem to think that I'm anti-Son, which I'm totally...
To be honest, people say that about me and Sim time and time again, but we love Sonny. We absolutely adore Sonny.
Exactly. We absolutely love it. He has set himself such high standards, and believe me when I say he has got so much credit in the bank. It's like but just because we idolise him and adore him like we do Kane, doesn't mean he's exempt from criticism.
Yeah.
Does not mean he's exempt from criticism. His first touch hasn't been right, whether it's the formation he's in, it's not his preferred, he's getting used to the position, whether it's he's being overplayed. That's what it is. We all know what Sonny can do and what Sonny's capable of, and he will get there again. But the cross was fantastic. I likened it to, do you remember the goal Harry Kane scored against Southampton to break his Shearer's goals in the calendar year?
Who was that against?
Southampton on Boxing Day.
Oh, yeah.
When he scored
Yeah.
that kind of whipped in cross by Ericsson, and then the head right. It's basically a carbon copy of that goal with the way it was scored. And Son delivered there. That's what world-class players do. They deliver in the moments, but his general play is not as sharp as it has been and what we're accustomed to. But it doesn't mean I don't love him. I love him. I idolise him, and he will come back. But obviously, he isn't at the form that we're used to.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But the thing is with Sonny, however... What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that, if he lacks quality in the certain moments, like with his first touch, with stuff like you're saying right now, the guy has got so much quality about him that he can just pop up with a moment at any time.
Yep.
So even if he's having a poor game like that, I still wouldn't be one to come off for me, because he can just produce a moment at any time. That corner, that cross for Davinson Sanchez was literally pinpoint, wasn't it? And he was probably the only one on the pitch that was going to do that. Yeah,
that I agree with completely. And again, it goes down to the point again that this is why we need reinforcements. So when Sonny is playing too much, and certain games where we feel he could take a rest, we're just unable to. We're just unable to give him that opportunity, and to just give him like a night off and say, listen, just relax and go home and do what you want to do or just be on the sub bench or in the stadium, just to give his body a bit of a rest is going to be beneficial. But we need reinforcements.
Yeah, I always feel for Sonny a bit when we're playing against a team that sits so deep and basically just put every single man, like their midfield was pretty sitting on the edge of their area, and their defence was literally in the middle of their area. So I mean, Sonny, he's a guy who loves the space in behind. He loves space in behind. That's where he thrives. Yesterday was more to like Lucas Moura's forte, right? Where Lucas Moura likes to get ball to feet and beat a few men. So yesterday was pretty much more a game made for Lucas than made for Sonny. So whenever we play a team with low block, I always feel Sonny lacks a bit.
Well, you saw, I mean, against Liverpool, he was everywhere. And that's because it was two open brands of football going at it. And Watford, I mean, I will say one thing. If I've got to say anything about Watford, you had to admire how disciplined they were and how organised they were.
Sissoko had a really good game.
Yeah, how ironic that he put it on for this. But that's what Watford did. And obviously, Watford have come in for some thumpings, and it's not looking good for them at the moment. But they were very resolute and very hard to break down. So you've got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, I don't think we were ready for that, because you've seen against other teams that they've played, like a Man City and stuff like that, they didn't sit back. They went for it.
Yep.
And they've seen if they go for it against a good side, they're going to get their asses handed to them. And Ranieri saw that, and he went up against this Spurs team, and a good way to stop this Spurs team is sitting in a low block.
Yep.
Because we find it so hard to break these teams down. Time and time again, we see it. And it was no different. It was no different yesterday. It just, luckily, we found that goal right at the end, and it was very lucky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was really. It's the epitome of a smash and grab. It really, really was. Where we were all thinking, oh no, these are definitely 2 points dropped, like Southampton. It really would have set Spurs fans off, being, oh my God, here we go. The normal Spurs have resumed, but we stuck in, we dug in, we got the result done. It's now looking. I mean, if Liverpool could do a number on Chelsea today, I think we're level on points with them, or a couple of points away from them.
Right.
I think we're quite. I don't know if we're level actually. I can't remember.
Today, Liverpool Chelsea.
Liverpool Chelsea is today.
So they're second on 42,
and we're
sixth on 33.
Okay, so I don't know what I was talking about there.
But we're 2 games behind them.
Yeah.
Now. We'll be 3 after today.
Yeah, and then we got them in the league as well coming up as well, haven't we?
Away, yeah.
So we could certainly pick up on them. It might be maybe Liverpool is who I was talking about, but yeah, that Champions League position is looking more and more gettable now.
Definitely. In terms of Spurs away, our away form, does yesterday just magnify that even more?
It does magnify it in an extent that obviously we had to just grit out a performance and get it done. Obviously after Southampton as well, but we've got that monkey off our back. It's time will tell now, and I think this smash and grab boosts the confidence big time going into Chelsea.
Yeah.
Going into Chelsea, it's huge. I think if we hadn't got a result against Chelsea, this away hoodoo might have been on their mind. But now they know they've done it. They've got that away victory. We stay undefeated under Conte in the Premier League, and long may that continue.
Well, we stay unbeaten anyway. We don't put the Muri game into it because they chucked us out that tournament anyway.
Oh, that's true. Null and void.
So it's null and void, exactly. But the way I look at it is that, yeah, we got over the line yesterday in the 96th minute, but against a Watford side, you really expect to be showing more dominance. Yes, we did control the game for 90 minutes. Yes, we did. But we didn't create enough chances, in my opinion. And look, we got the win, fine. But when you're going to come up against better sides, I'm a bit worried about us going away from home. And I think Wednesday night is going to be big for us. Yep. If we can get the result on Wednesday night, then I think we've got the monkey off our back. But right now, against that Watford side, we struggled to get through it. But we did get through it, so fair enough. You've got to give credit to the team in that sense. But I just don't think the performance was good enough yesterday.
By no means was that a good performance, or can they leave the grass saying, yeah, that was a fantastic performance, we did what we came to do. But Chelsea is, like I said, Chelsea is massive. Chelsea is massive. It always is a big game. Then you have the Conte factor. The semi-final, it's going to be huge, and you've got to remember Chelsea are not in a good place right now. They are not as a team, and then Lukaku, so
he's out the squad today.
Yeah,
I heard it on the radio on the way in.
So obviously the repercussions of that, God knows what damage it's done to the rest of the team and the confidence in there. So I think it's a great time to play Chelsea.
You backing us?
Yes. My first game at Stamford Bridge, so I'm praying it's a good one.
Yeah, me too. And last but not least, let's talk about Harry Kane yesterday, because I thought he had a really good game. I gave him my man of the match yesterday. In reflection, maybe I would have given it to a Sanchez. I thought Sanchez was brilliant yesterday. Davis as well played a really good game. Hugo Lloris saved us at times yesterday as well. But Harry Kane, I thought he is looking back at it, turning and shooting with his left foot. You're seeing all these attributes coming into his game again, which we grew accustomed to seeing a lot last season. We didn't see this under Nuno. We didn't see this for the beginning stages of the season, but we're starting to see the old Kane coming back now, aren't we?
We are. And then what I was saying yesterday as well is Harry Kane, if you look at him, this guy has put the ball in the side netting of the net more times than I've ever seen any striker do it. And one of his key attributes is he always shoots so quickly. He gets the ball out of his feet and he pulls the trigger. And I noticed last time when I was in England with you guys, he seemed to be taking that extra touch because his confidence was a little bit jaded and he was going through a bit mentally. He literally was doubting himself. But even yesterday, yes, he should have scored that goal. But you saw with the Southampton goal that was disallowed incorrectly. and then that one that just went wide. He's taking those shots early again. He's his commitment, passion, desire, body language, all on the up. Even from the Liverpool game with that tackle that people debate should it be red, should it not? He wasn't making those tackles a few months ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything like that a few months ago. There is a considerable change in him. And I think come end of January and he's fully got under Conte's fitness regime and everything, he'll be unstoppable again.
Completely agree. And just did yesterday just signify the lack of creative depth we have.
We've known that for a very, very long time. It's got to be addressed. It has to. Now, when I was doing the paper talk with Josh, Coutinho's name's come back up again. And in the paper reports, there was a little line that I thought, yeah, Levy will be interested now. Apparently, we can have him for a tenth of the price that Liverpool paid for him, or Barcelona paid.
Yeah, but can we have him for the tenth of the wages? He's on like 600 grand a week.
Yeah, it's insane. It's ridiculous wages. I would welcome him back to the Premier League because I think if we could just get a fraction of what he was like, he comes in, he knows this league, he knows the language. And he is a damn good player. He's lost his way. And if he can get back to 70, 80% of what he had at Liverpool, we've got the player we wanted on our hand.
Yeah. All right, well, you know what? We got the 3 points yesterday. We are now a point behind the scum, playing them next in the league, 2 games in hand. So let's see how it goes. Arsenal looked very good against Man City, so it worries me slightly. But surely we got them at the lane.
Do you know what? I've been looking at, obviously, over the last few years, the North London derbies have got bigger and bigger and more competitive. And I wish I was there for the last one at the White Hart Lane because that was the end of St Tottenham's Day. And it was that famous season.
That was a special day.
Exactly. But I think this one now, with Arsenal bang in form, us in form, the Conte factor, we need to put in a performance to get revenge on that horror show at the Emirates this last time. I think it's going to be a cracking game. The atmosphere is always cracking at that game. But yeah, I think we've got them at home.
All right, let's hope so, man. That is our match review of the game yesterday. Let me go through a few super chats just before we start bringing on some guests. 1 second. This one's from Powder saying, just found y'all supporting from New York, New York. Big up. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for the super chat. Next one is a member, Mark Oxborough. Welcome to Gold and welcome to the family, my
Big
friend.
time.
Thank you very much. Goguma is saying, big up Josh and to all the Tottenham family who are supporting him through this 24-hour live stream for Cosmic Charity. Definitely, and you will be hearing from him very soon as he is coming on. Sharaith with the super chat saying, happy new year and congratulations on 100k, well deserved. You are also changing our lives, our daily lives as viewers with all your excellent content. So a big thanks. No, thank you. It's all down to you guys that make this big channel work. So I'm just humbled by all you guys out there. Lee, Tottenham fan UK, saying congrats on 100k. Thank you for helping us through COVID lockdown and all the anxieties with your content coming to Spurs. No, thank you, Lee. All these kind words mean so much for us. It really does. And without further ado, let's start bringing on some guests and let's go to Josh.
A very slim deprived Josh.
Yeah. Josh. Josh? Can you hear us, Josh?
Josh, can you hear us?
I can't actually see you guys, so I'm going to have to reload and come back in.
Okay, buddy.
Okay.
Let's just wait for him to come.
Well, that was Josh, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. He's yeah, do you know what? He's had a few technical issues with everything he's been doing. He's doing it through 2 separate. He's doing it via StreamYard and another link that's getting him through to Cosmic Charity. He's his computer has been going full strength ahead for like 23 hours and 18 minutes.
He's going into the final minutes now, nearly half an hour, about 40 minutes to go of that 24-hour live stream. So big up to Josh. Amazing work you're doing for an amazing charity. And just before we get Josh on, let's speak to Mikey and see what he has to say today.
Hey,
Hey, Mikey.
So, yeah,
Nice haircut.
Thank you. I got it a few days ago, but I haven't seen you guys since yesterday. But nice to see you back in the studio, Ben.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, so
What do you want to talk about today, mate?
the match, because yesterday on the post-match fan show, you sort of give your immediate reaction, and then you have enough time this morning to process, see the highlights again, look at the stats and stuff, and see how the team performed. And if you look all over the park, it was a very disciplined performance from Watford. But then from us, it was our back eight, not including the front three. I think they were excellent in snuffing out Watford. They only had 1 or 2 chances on the counter when Hugo Lloris gave away a penalty, but it wasn't given. Kind of like when Eric Dyer was manhandled to the ground earlier on in the game. There were 2 contentious penalty decisions that didn't go either way. So I guess that's a little bit comforting to know that if we didn't get one, at least they didn't get theirs. Because if they got theirs and we didn't get ours, there would have been hell to pay from Tottenham fans to the referee. But I think from the point of view of the game yesterday, it was a smash and grab, as Brian said. I wish the scoreline could have been a bit more generous to us, because I think our performance deserved it. Our possession stats were like, I can't remember the exact, but I think they were like 66-33 or something like that. The overall stats yesterday, and it was an incredibly dominant performance against the team that we'd expect to dominate. But you realized very early on that instead of them going for it and trying to play like they did in the Championship, we actually had 74% possession. Wow. But instead of them trying to go for it like they usually do, they just sat back, and against a Tottenham team whose players thrive on space, like Son spacing behind Kane, looking to drop deep and play those balls, and Lucas Moura ball into feet with and driving at the opponent. I think it was a game that was made for us to attack, Watford to defend, and just try and be as resilient as possible. And I think following the first 45, when they defended for their lives and they started to creep into the game a little bit during the opening bit of the second half, but I think we marshalled them quite well, and probably only the Hugo Lloris penalty decision, and when João Pedro ran like 70 yards through our entire team and then got tugged back by Skip. I think that was probably the only 2 moments I got scared that Watford might score. So it was a very well marshalled performance, but we're crying out for a creative midfielder, because we have 2 or 3 of them, but they're not what we expect them to be. Giovanni Lo Celso has an addiction to the surgeon's office. Tanguy and Ndombele has an addiction to not running anywhere, and Dele Alli.
Burgers.
So we're crying out for a new creative midfielder, and I've long said, even before the Southampton game, I've long said James Ward-Prowse partnering Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in that midfield like he did at Southampton, that would be amazing for us, because he can do the hard yards, but he's one of the most creative players in the league. His set pieces are unrivaled, but there's no way we're getting him out of Southampton. He's the captain, he's the fan favourite.
To be fair, though, we did get Højbjerg when he was the captain of Southampton.
Yeah, but James Ward-Prowse has always been a bit more special than Højbjerg to Southampton. I have a few friends who are Southampton fans, and they've always said that James Ward-Prowse has been special to them. So,
do you not think if Tottenham come calling, he'll want to leave?
Well, no, because like big clubs came calling last summer for him, and he signed a 5-year deal.
True.
So, I think he won't want to leave because of where Southampton are. But if Tottenham came calling with the right amount of money, we'd be good for him. But as much as I'd love to sign him, we have more immediate positions that need in. I mean, Emerson yesterday I can pick out as probably the only performer who had a crap game. Like it was a really well marshaled performance, but I think Emerson going forward, he's lacking so much in quality. He's a good defensive fullback, but he's lacking for a Brazilian fullback. He's better defensively. Like, that's mad to think of, but
it is when you think of it. Do you think the problems in the squad are now like Conte? The work that Conte is doing, he's given us like a platform now, like a structure of a team where he's made it hard for us to beat. But now we just need to add that quality in the transfer window to kind of push us on further. Do you think Conte maybe has not done all he can with this squad, but given us a nice platform to move on with?
Well, he said it himself. He needed, in his first couple of games, he said, I'm going to look at the squad. And now, yesterday, after the Watford game, he says he has everything he needs to know about who he wants to sell and who he wants to bring in. So I think it looks like Conte's transfer plans have been confirmed, and now the club are going to start going about them, because it looks like the first player to go will be Tanguy Ndombele. He looks like the first player out the door. He hasn't played much under Conte, and Conte, his number one task more than anything is you can't work hard, you can't work for me. And Ndombele is the definition of a lazy player. All the talent in the world, probably the most naturally gifted player in the squad, but his dedication, his application is nowhere to be found. So if Conte said, if they don't work hard, if they don't work for the team, I prefer to kill them. That's what he said in an interview at Chelsea. So if Tanguy Ndombele,
do you think it says a lot, Mikey, that Brian Hill came on against Southampton? Brian Hill came on yesterday, left Tanguy and Dele both on the bench for both games. Do you think that says a lot then?
I think he's looking to mould Brian Hill into an attacking midfielder rather than a winger, because it looks like he's got more of the invention. Because I know his crossing is really good, but I'd love to see Brian Hill moulded into a really good attacking midfielder, because I know he's good on the wing, cutting in, but I think when you play on the wing, you need that talent to cut in and then be able to find the right ball. But I think Brian Hill's more suited to playing a ball through from the centre rather than from trying to cut in and then look for the ball.
So Mikey, you trying to say you see him more in the like Rafa van der Vaart role,
or more like an Ericsson role? To be honest, that's what I see Brian Hill being moulded into. But I know I'll have my. I know people will disagree on that, because we're very sparse on the wings at the moment, with Bergwijn out injured. Lucas Moura and Son and Hill are the only people in our squad that can play those wing roles, unless he starts doing a Nuno and playing Harry Kane on the left wing. But yeah, I think for his development, I'd love to see him play as an attacking midfielder. But I think obviously he's only 20. He's got 10, 15 years at the top ahead of him. If he can stay fit and with a dash of luck, he'll prosper into the player we all think he can be, and make our 25 million price tag plus shithouse Lamella look like peanuts. So yeah, but I think this transfer window is going to be key, because Conte, like, we could forgive him for getting a few bad results because of the squad he had in between his appointment and January, but if things don't pick up after he's implemented not saying they're not picking up now, we're unbeaten in the league, obviously. But I'm saying if he can't get his teeth into this team and really drive them forward and nail down that top 4 place by April, because of those 2 games in hand, if we can beat Arsenal, then we'll be in pole position. Like, if, God forbid, if we lose to Arsenal, then the top 4 race is blown out of the water. It's wide open for anyone. But if we can beat Arsenal and then win those 2 games in hand, we'll be comfortably 4, 5, 6 points. I don't know the maths, but be 4, 5, 6, 7 points ahead of them. So the Arsenal game coming up is very key, not only in the fact that it's a derby, but just in the position where these 2 teams are. Arsenal coming off the back of a very controversial loss to Man City, as much as I hate to say it. They played to win that game. They didn't play to damage limitation like they did in the 5-0. They played to win, and it was a very well-oiled Arsenal performance, and they only lost due to a dash of bad refereeing decisions. I look at football objectively, and even though I hate Arsenal, they did deserve to get a penalty, and Martinelli shouldn't have missed that golden chance for them. So I hate to think, because we've got Arsenal have to play Liverpool, and we have to play Chelsea, and then it comes off that. So our next league game is against Arsenal. We've got FA Cup and Carabao Cup action coming up. I hope that we can put the ghost of semi-finals past behind us and not get Jorginho scoring a 35-yard banger against Hugo Lloris like Matic did, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I was right behind Matic when he took that shot, and that ball just was like a bolt of lightning, just headed for that top corner. I hated having that view, but yeah. You got to remember as well, Mikey, we say the 2 games in hand, that's on Arsenal. We've actually got 3 games in hand on a lot of people because of Burnley as well. So if we could take all 3 of those W's and get 9 points on the board, we are in very, very solid ground.
Yeah, let's hope so. And obviously the game yesterday, I would say the one thing again is Conte's looking to go down the wing. I think that's pretty clear now that most of our attacking outlet is coming from our fullbacks, and Reguilon is flourishing. I think he's slowly going about. I think he's what's the word? Low-key, he's going about his business very well. I think he's performing consistent. I give him a good 7.5 out of 10 every game so far. I don't think he's had a clanger of a game. I don't think he's had a truly special game yet, but he hasn't been bad by any means. So I hope that we can get a right back who can match him, because Emerson he's good, but he's defensive. He's an option you look to bring on if you're changing for a 5 at the back. He's not a 3 at the back right back. He's a 5 at the back right back. His attacking output isn't at the level where Conte can trust him every game to start, but because we don't have any other options at right back, Matt Doherty doesn't exist. So we seriously need to play him every game, because if we don't, I mean, I remember Matt Doherty playing. I can't remember who he played against, but he was awful again under Conte. So I think right back for me would be a key area to improve in, and also just Sonny looks so tired. He's played. Even though he came off in the 60th minute, again, maybe he had COVID more seriously than the others, and he's still coming back from that. But Sonny looks extremely tired, extremely lethargic.
Still produced a moment to win us the game yesterday, though, Sonny, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was from a static free kick. It wasn't from him running at defenders and putting a ball into the box. It was from a static free kick. So
but that's the same way we beat them at home as well.
Yes, that was when. Yeah, but, well, exact same position, exact same player, but this time Sanchez headed it home instead of it trickling into the back of the net. But I really hope that we can push on, because, like I said, if we had lost that game or drawn it, you would have started to say, well, one bad result, and it just kind of catapults the whole squad into meltdown. But I think it's looking bright enough that we can, again, probably a draw is our best hope at Stamford Bridge. But I think coming back to the home stadium, we can beat them. That's what I'm thinking.
Come on, Mikey. We can go to Stamford Bridge and win, can't we?
No, we can't. We will be.
We will
be going to
Stamford Bridge. We will be going to Stamford Bridge and win it. I mean, the fact that Lukaku's been left out of... I mean, Liverpool probably... If Liverpool win today, Chelsea will be out of the title race, and that'll probably impact them morale a bit. So I'm kind of hoping. I mean, I don't want to see Liverpool win, but I'd love to see Liverpool win as well, because I want to see Chelsea lose and then come into off the back of a really bad run into a game against Spurs, who are flying high at the moment. So yeah, let's hope for a Liverpool win. But obviously, and there's no Lukaku.
What time's that game today? Is that 4:30?
4:30. There's no Romelu for them today. So Virgil van Dijk's task has been made a lot more easier. So yeah, I just want to give a quick message. There were a lot of people in the comments yesterday of your live stream saying that because I didn't watch the game, I couldn't talk about it. And I want to say that I can't actually afford to watch the games. So yeah, I come on here off the back of I do the best I can to keep up with Tottenham, but I can't afford to watch the games on Sky and BT and all the rest of the streaming services. I only have Amazon Prime, so I get lucky to watch 2 games a year. So yeah, but thank you guys for having me on, and I won't talk for too long because I know there's a very special guest about to come on. So yeah,
Mikey, you're always welcome on the channel. We love hearing your insights and love hearing your views. So don't take too much notice what goes on in the comments. You know what people are like sometimes, but just keep coming on, and no worries about anything else. We always welcome him.
It shows your passion and dedication as well, Mike. You're not being able to watch it, trying to find out how you can watch it, and then coming on having your thoughts. You got to remember, like you said yesterday, you were listening to it on Radio 5 Live. I remember growing up, that's all we had. We had to listen to it on Capital Gold. There was no Sky. There was no... You waited till match of the day. So big up to yourself, Mikey. Big up to yourself.
Yeah, well, congrats on the 100k again. And come on, you Spurs.
Thanks,
Always
Mikey.
Come on, you Spurs.
We'll see you very soon.
Bye.
See you, mate. All right, that is Mikey. Thanks for coming on, mate. Everyone show him some love in the comments. And everyone show this next guy some love as well. And that is Mr. Josh RG.
Or is it Bono? With his head shaved and his glasses on like that. He's looking very Bono-esque.
But Josh...
I'm flagging, mate. I'm flagging.
Josh, how are you feeling, man? Half an hour to go of your 24-hour live stream, man.
Yeah, and I'm doing this off the back of 2 hours sleep the night before as well. So
bloody hell! How are you doing this?
A lot of willpower and determination. I think. Firstly, I just want to say, Mikey, if you can't afford to watch the Spurs games, but get in touch with me. I'll give you the access to my Sky Go. So if you need to watch the games, come and get in touch with me, and I'll sort you out. I'll sort you over with a login for it.
Oh, that's such
I love this family.
That is unbelievable. Thanks a lot, Josh, man. That is unbelievable.
That's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Also, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's come over to my stream, showed me some support. A massive thanks to Brian. If it wasn't for Brian and Phil Latiers, you know what? I probably would have struggled throughout this whole ordeal. I was ready to give up at 8 o'clock this morning, and then Brian come on, and it's.
Josh, I saw you last night. When I was in the comments, you were flagging then, and you were like, "Oh, is the party really starting now? Is the party really?" I thought you were about to go offline then.
No, I mean. There have been times where I've been ready to throw it in, but you know the support that everyone's given my stream and the amount of money that we've raised for Cosmic, it's not easy for me to just jack it in like that. It's the target was originally £500, and I set that beginning of December, and before Christmas we were already at £375. And obviously, I stopped pushing. I stopped pushing it for a little while after. Obviously, we found out what was going on with Bob. I hope he gets better soon. I think that's the only thing I can really say.
Let's see if there's an update.
Yeah,
Josh, can you just tell our viewers, to everyone watching, what the cause is about?
Yeah. So all the money raised on my charity live stream today goes to a charity called Cosmic. Now, they're a charity that I hold very close to my heart. Back end of November, my daughter was admitted to hospital with a severe case of bronchiolitis, and we took her to our general hospital where she was put on a nebulizer, and she didn't react very well. So they decided to intubate her, and she was transferred to a specialist PICU ward in Paddington Hospital. The charity that helped me and my partner throughout the whole ordeal was this Cosmic. Getting to and from the hospital into central London when you live on the outskirts of London is a very expensive task, and that's where Cosmic can help those families. They provide one of the things that they do is they provide the families of those children that are in ICU with accommodation. They also provide them with counselling and support throughout the whole time that their children are in hospital. They do research behind the scenes into illnesses and diseases that can affect a child early on in life, such as tuberculosis, Kawasaki's disease, meningitis, just to name a few. They provide high-end equipment to the hospitals, and they also provide the doctors and nurses with the high-end training. They are a very small charity, mind. They are only running out of 2 hospitals at the moment, and they are a very small charity. But I know from speaking to the representatives that I'm in contact with that they aim to expand as much as they can. You're getting families being admitted, families being sent down from Norwich, as far as Norwich into central London. So imagine having to pay that train journey every day. It's not doable. But that's where Cosmic come into play, and they are absolutely fantastic. And I'm so happy that I've raised what I have. For those that haven't seen the stream so far and haven't seen the donations, we are currently sitting at £1,161.37. That's
well
great.
done, everybody. And well done, Josh, man. Well done, Josh.
So just
it's been grueling, man. It's been grueling.
Just to let everyone know, I have pinned the Just Giving page to the top of the chat now. So if you do any donation will help. It is a great cause. So please, anything that you can afford, please donate to this great cause. Josh, you've done such an unbelievable job this last 24 hours.
And the thing is, I'm ready to talk about Tottenham. I'm ready to talk about Tottenham.
All right, let's talk about Tottenham then. Let's talk about Tottenham. How did you feel the game went yesterday? Because obviously we got that monkey off our back in terms of an away win. Wasn't the greatest performance maybe in terms of attacking flow and stuff like that. But what did you make out of it?
this is what happens when we go into a game too confident. This is what Watford. If you look at their lineup that they had no Ben Foster, they had no Ismail Sarr, and they've just come off of 5 consecutive back-to-back losses. They are the only team in the Premier League that haven't had a clean sheet all season. We should have been going into that with the motivation to win, and the fact that it took us 96 minutes to score a goal really said something. Like you said, Ranieri saw that we were pressing, and he decided to park every single player behind the ball, and it just made our job more difficult. But then it just goes to show that we don't have the creativity to create those chances. Royal is all well and good pressing up the field, but his end product is non-existent, absolutely non-existent. Every single cross he put into the box went to the far post. Why are you crossing balls to the far post, knowing full well there's no one there? But then 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. If you know that Emerson's going to swing a ball into the far post, why are you not going to the far post? It's all about teamwork, and it seemed as if we were lacking just that little bit. I thought we were going to win this game 4-0, and it's the first time I've ever been confident in a result, and like we go and do that. Like it's a very bitter pill to swallow. It feels like a loss. I know it's 3 points, and we're still unbeaten under Conte, but it feels like a loss because we should have won that. Like we should have won it convincingly, and we didn't.
But it's a similar story, isn't it? Where the creative problems, when teams sit 11 men behind the ball and really park the bus in a low block, we always struggle to break them down, don't we? So, I mean, what is the answer? How do we start breaking down these teams that just defend for their lives against us?
2 up front with 1 behind. Play a narrow style of attacking football, which is why when we were with Kulusevski, I think it's a perfect fit. You think about it, he's a left-footed right winger. He's got the same stats as Lucas Moura in half the playing time. He's a fantastic fit, especially if you're going to bring him on as an impact sub. I mean, I think he's only 21 years old. Give him a year while Moura sees out that, because we know that Moura wants to return to Brazil for a year. If at the end of next season Moura goes to return to Brazil, you've already got a right winger ready to go in that is going to add that definition and that bit of depth in the back, that bit of creativity. He's a left-footed. He can cut in on the inside, giving you 3 different attacking options. It's a narrow style of attacking football, which Conte goes for. It's an absolutely fantastic fit. Again, we're not going to do anything until we make signings.
Yeah, I completely agree. And in terms of signings, I mean, what's your priority for this January?
Striker, 100%. 1 billion%. A striker needs to be bought. I want Vlahovic, and I will not settle for anything less than Vlahovic.
Josh, do you know what? Like I've been saying, I think when we're talking strikers, if you look at the strikers, everywhere else we don't know the name of the player that's coming in. We just know we need a right wing back or a centre back or whatever. But I think if we were to do a poll or Tottenham were to do a poll and say, okay, the striker, I think you're in the high 90% of people saying it's Dusan Vlahovic. It's Dusan Vlahovic. I don't think there is an option B, C, or D with us Spurs fans. He is the one. I
don't think Dusan's leaving in January.
No, I mean, what was the rumour you were reading, Josh, when I was on with you? It was between us, Manchester City, and Arsenal, isn't it? So if Man City...
yeah, he's already said he doesn't want to join Arsenal, so you can cross that one off.
Yeah, it was us, Man City. Yeah, us, Man City, and Arsenal. He wasn't taking Arsenal's calls from the last time that we knew, and obviously we know that Torres has left Man City for quite a substantial amount of money, which he's adding to Man City's pocket. So could they be going in for Vlahovic? Quite possibly. But then, like you said, Brian, you've heard that they are going balls to the wall for Haaland.
It's not what I've heard, Josh. It's what I actually think. I think what Man City are doing, they're clearing the decks because they know what, at the end of the season, Haaland's available for cheaper than what he is right now. And I think they want to try and steal a march on this and maybe see if they're saying they can possibly do in January to just like, because let's just say in the next few days they do it. If they come and blow a bit out of the water, I don't think there's a team ready to match them. They're probably all thinking, right, let's get the finances in ready for the summer. Let's bid the 75. But if Man City can steal a march on that deal, or any team, but I've got a feeling that Man City have got all eyes on him.
Yeah, from what I've read, he wants to go to Real Madrid. That's his preferred destination. So it's going to take a lot for him to go to Man City if
that's where Mbappe's going, isn't it? I mean, God, that'll be some front line, won't it?
Haaland, Mbappe, Benzema.
They're getting the thing about the Mbappe deal is he's going on a free. Like it's not costing them anything.
Well, you got to see what wages he's on.
The financial fair play regulations won't come into effect because ultimately it's a free signing. It's not the 200-odd million pound that they've estimated.
But he's going to be getting at least like 600-700 grand a week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But again, does financial fair play come into effect with wages? I don't know.
Well, the thing is as well with Mbappe as well. Do you remember he said? So this goes. It's kind of Campbell-like. Do you remember he said? He said no, but he said he won't leave Paris on a free. He wouldn't make Paris lose money on him. He will. And then there was talk that he'd sign a contract, even if it was just for a year, just so they could get the money for him. And that hasn't been done. And now it looks
like the thing is with Mbappe, to be fair to him, he told them straight out he wanted to leave in the last transfer window, and they wouldn't let him leave.
Yep.
So what's he expect them to do?
Exactly.
This is the thing. Like I've always been a firm believer. If a player says he doesn't, if a player says he wants to leave, let him go because his heart is not at your club.
So would you have let Kane go last summer then?
100%, 100%, because you could have got Vlahovic in then.
Yeah.
The money you would have got for Kane would have been substantial amount of money, enough to bring in Dusan Vlahovic and then probably another striker on top.
In terms of other positions in this transfer window, what are you looking at?
I want to see a backup to Reggie. I really do. I don't see Sessegnon staying at Spurs. I think he's going to go out. I think he's going to go out on loan again.
Thing is with Sessegnon, I think that since Conte's come in, he's looked good. He's looked good.
It's all about fitness. He can't keep fit. That's the issue. Yeah. He's constantly injured, and you can't rely on someone that's constantly injured, especially if you haven't got a second choice.
Yeah.
The player that I threw into the works is I wanted to see Thomas Lamar come in. Thomas Lamar is a left wing back. He's got all the assets of a left wing back, and we know that Conte likes to put players out of position.
Where did he go from Monaco?
He's at Atletico Madrid.
That's right.
They
25 years old.
They signed him for big money, though, didn't they?
Yeah, 90 million, I think, wasn't it?
Something like that.
They did, yeah, and I think he's falling out of favour at Atletico, hasn't he? I'm not too sure.
That's mad. I mean, to sign someone for 90 million and then fall out of favour, that's very Spursy, isn't it?
Hopefully Trippier will have a good word for him. Trippier will have a quick word and say, if you're coming to London.
Do you not think a right wing back is needed a bit more? You know, Doherty's not really doing it. Emerson obviously lacked massively yesterday.
Yeah, I think we do, but as of right now, no names come to mind. No names come to mind of what kind of player that I'd bring in.
We've been linked very heavily with Adama Traore. Do you think he could do the role there?
He knows how to get in. He knows how to get into the opposition's head. That's one thing he's very good at. He knows how to piss people off. And I think that the way that we've been playing recently, where we've got under the skin of managers and had players sent off from the opposition because of how we're playing.
Yep.
He could be a good fit. He could be a good fit, but I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I just don't like him.
What's wrong with his attitude?
I think you know what? How do I explain it? I've seen him throw hissy fits when the decision doesn't go his way, and he attracts more attention than what it's worth. He's a football player. Ultimately, he's there to play football. When he lets his emotions get the better of him, and I think sometimes he can be a bit rough. We need someone that's going to be a bit composed, but knows how to get into the opposition heads.
Do you think that Conte can maybe mould him like he's moulded so many players before?
It depends in what kind of way. You can't teach attitude. Attitude is an adaptive thing. If as a player, 100%, but it's the attitude that lets him down for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I think a deep line ball creating midfielder as well is not as a priority, but it's definitely on the cards. I think that definitely needs to happen at some point.
Any names spring to mind?
It's the obvious one, Frank Kessié.
Yeah.
Get Frank Kessié in. Pre-contractual agreement in January. Bring him in the summer on a free. Bang. Laughing.
Would you prefer to spend like 10, 15 million in January or get him on a free in the summer?
We have the options there right now. We have the options. I'm happy with the 3 that we've got there. In the terms of we've got Winks, we've got Skip, we've got Højbjerg. The one thing I do want to say, however, is I want to see Skip start with Winks. I do not want to keep seeing Skip start with Højbjerg. Højbjerg needs a rest.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I want to see 2 pressing midfielders that can drop back when they need to. That is Skip and that is Winks.
All right. And looking forward, we're going to do the Chelsea on Wednesday?
I reckon we're going to get a draw at Stamford Bridge and we're going to take it to White Hart Lane and we're going to absolutely run them rabid. We're going to absolutely destroy them. Thomas Tuchel has lost the dressing room at Chelsea.
He's lost the dressing room?
No, 100%. That's why Lukaku's come out and said what he said.
Well, do you know what I heard as well, and I got this from obviously my co-creator and founder of Tottenham on Tour, Brian Ireland. He's got a friend who's very staunch Chelsea, and apparently has some kind of. And apparently that interview was actually taken whilst he was injured, and it was done by an Italian journalist. That has been out or been ready to surface, and it was just when they were going to lay it out and put it in the press.
I heard it was 2 weeks ago. That interview.
Yeah, exactly, when he was injured.
It says, I think he was fit though, because in the interview he says, "I'm completely fit." And
but I mean, during the time until he came back, from when he was out to when he came back,
it doesn't matter when he said it. It doesn't matter when he said it.
And apparently, again, you know what's happened with us sometimes, where it's done in a foreign language and then they've Google translated and not giving it the exact. So don't get me wrong. Either way, it's damaging, it's damning, and he shouldn't have done it. Just like a Danny Rose interview back in the day.
What I was about to say, yeah.
But apparently that interview was a few weeks old. But either way, that's been rumbling in the squad, ready to come out. And it does look recently that they're not at it like they were, let's say, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. There's definitely something going on there.
There's going to be a lot of people being sold. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's going to go.
I love him. I would take him at top. I love Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Just a shame we don't do business with them and they won't do business with us, because I've said it for a long. I think he's a real player.
Yeah, I don't think anyone from Chelsea is coming.
Oh no,
here.
No.
The thing is, the annoying thing is, I would have taken Ross Barkley 4 years ago. It's a shame that he went to Chelsea.
I completely forgot he was there.
I mean, one player I really like from Chelsea is Callum Hudson-Odoi. I love him as a player. I think he's a very good player.
Didn't Bayern Munich go in for him and then get rejected like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, a couple of summers ago, yeah.
Yeah, and now look,
who are we talking about?
I don't think he's worth half.
Odoi.
Was that Munich or Dortmund? Yeah, that was Munich.
It was one of the two. I think they offered
Munich,
something stupid like £75 million, and they straight up rejected it.
This is the thing, like we said, we talk about Roman Abramovich, and I often praise how ruthless he is and how always backs the manager, but this always seems to happen, doesn't it, with Chelsea? And it happened, to tell you the truth, it happened with Di Matteo after he won the Champions League.
Yeah.
He didn't stay for much longer, and then all the rumblings started, and then he was gone, and they brought AVB. No, he replaced AVB, didn't he? Whatever happened.
This is why Chelsea, if you look at the last 18 years of who they bought in and who they've sold, accumulatively, they've accumulated over £1.165 billion worth of debt just in players being sold. They buy more than they sell.
Yep.
This is their issue. They need to sell players when they have that peak price. If you ask anyone, you ask any team now, would you give us 100 million for Lukaku? They'd all laugh at you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay half that for him. But that's because he's a Chelsea player, and I don't like him anyway. Because up the Spurs.
Up the
Correct.
Spurs, exactly. But Josh, less than 10 minutes for you to go, mate.
Yes. What was the figure I said when I come in? What was my? I was on
1,114 or something.
Yeah, we are now at 1,322. Because people
from
your stream,
well done,
people from the We Are Tottenham TV family have come over here and shown love. This is why I love this family. It's not a community. It's not just a group of people that love Tottenham. We are a family. That is what I love.
Correct.
100%. 100%. This family is strong. The community is strong. And, you know, it just proves it time and time again. We did the Just Fund thing for Bob when his
father
dad's
passed
funeral
away.
and stuff like that. The family pulled through then, and the family are pulling through once again.
They pulled through for me as well. A lot of the family helped me with my flight to get over here because obviously I'd just come back. I'm unemployed at the moment, still looking for work. And I needed to get back for Bob. And those people were literally, how can I help? How can I help? And do you know what?
Phenomenal.
Do you know what, Josh? I think what I'll do as well is you saw me go off screen. I think I'll do it with you on screen because obviously you are part of the family and you know what this is all be going. I do have a Bob update. So I'm going to try and send you to bed with... Thankfully, at long last, thanks to Tammy and Kim, I can tell you something positive. We have made some kind of positive steps from yesterday. So, positive update this morning. Bob was on his back overnight and his oxygen requirements have gone down from 70 plus when he's on his back to 65. And they are confident of dropping further. They have also said his infection markers have also dropped. So the antibiotics have done their job, but they will keep him on them for the time being. Plan is to maintain current treatment plan for the time being. So it looks like today, we've had a few days where it's been negative, and we've got to grab onto any small positives that happen. So Kim and Tam have got back to me. Tammy, I know, again, is in the background listening. So we have some positive update on Bob this morning. The main concern, as we were saying with everyone, was when he's on his back, because there's a lot of pressure on his lungs and they're trying to clear all the crap out of it. He had been really struggling to be on his back for a consistent amount of time. Well, today... it looks like the fight he started, he's winning the fight. So we have got a positive bit of news to end your 24-hour stream, to send you to sleep, to let the Spurs family know there is a bit of positivity from Bob today.
And that's exactly what we want to hear. That's exactly
well, I
what we
think
wanna
it's
hear.
only fitting. I think it's only fitting that I say goodbye to you. Come on, you Spurs. And in the famous words of Bob Spur, Bob, we love you. And as always, piss off.
Hey! Come on, Josh. Massive, great work you're doing, Josh. You got 4 minutes until you can go to sleep. What an unbelievable achievement it is, raising so much money for charity and a 24-hour stream as well. So big up to you. That's great news with Bob as well. So everyone show their love to Josh and Bob in the comments. We've got a super chat here from Mikey saying, come on, you Spurs, I'll get in contact with Josh soon. Thanks, bro. And we've got another one here from Rui Quintal saying, we love you, Bob Spur. So big up to everyone there. And let's get Aravind on.
Yes, Aravind. Happy Aravind again. Happy Aravind.
Happy New Year, my friend. How are you?
You're on mute.
You're on mute. Come on, Aravind. You've been on too many times to stop keeping on mute. Even though I did it on my own channel yesterday. But Aravind, come on, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Happy New Year to you guys. And
Happy New Year,
before
buddy.
I start, congrats to your 100K. It's actually a really great achievement for getting this channel, bringing this up. And to be serious, I really agree. It's you've created a huge family, and I think so. It's really successful for you guys. You've done a really great job to your team who is working behind and to keep fans interacted. And this is what makes Spurs family different from other clubs, and that's why we are Spurs supporters more than trophies.
Definitely, and thank you for being part of the family for so long, for contributing a lot. I mean, you're a very important figure, so thank you very much.
And thank you anyways. And talking about the game coming up, and looks very positive, and Antonio Conte doing really well. But before anything happens, it's January 2nd, and by January 31st,
have we signed anyone yet?
we need to sign someone. We need to get if we are not signing anyone, and this is going to be really a good problem. I was just seeing a rumor 2 seconds before, and there's a rumor saying that this January the money will be much more tighter than compared to summer. No, nothing is tight now. Everything is loose, open.
Arvin, don't say that when Brian's on the
Listen,
stream, mate.
Arvin, we've heard this all before. We linked to 386 players, and I don't know if you've heard what I've said, but I was meant to fly home on the 13th of January, but it's been postponed for a little bit. And if we haven't signed anyone by the 13th, from the 13th to minimum 23rd when I fly home, I will be outside the training ground every single day protesting. If anyone else wants to join me, I know a few of the Levy Out people might be there, but anyone in the community, anyone in the chat want to come and join me at the outside the training ground, apart from match days, I will be there every single day for at least 3-4 hours because it's not acceptable.
Aravin's coming over from India for it.
It's not going to be. And the thing is that I still, as much as people, I still don't believe in Daniel Levy is saying what I want to see how it goes this month, and it needs to go. We need signings and we need proper recruitment. We need to back Conte. If he's not, look at what's he doing with this. It's still with the team which we have right now, and we know with the players which we're going to get, it's going to improve a lot. And there's nothing tight now. You need to open the bloody check, man. Please. It's been more than 20 years. You have got it to a stable stage, but the next level is trophies, titles. We need to do that now. It's enough. Your excuses of building stadiums, we have loans, we have 200 million debt to recover. It can be recovered. You have all fans here and bullshit. These people. The thing is that Joe Lewis has hell lot of money to invest. These people are billionaires. These people aren't the small kids over there investing for this small club. It's not like a Norwich or a Brentford. We are bootstrapped with money, or we don't have. They have $1 billion in their account, and I know that these people can invest. They just don't want to because they just want to make more money. So just shut up and invest, man. Just shut up and invest. It's been enough.
Arvin, let me ask: Is it possible for us to make the top 4 this year without investment? Do we need signings in January to make top 4?
No, there is no chance we're going to make top 4 with the squad we have right now. It's been stabilized. I'm really happy that Conte has bought this club till January for the stabilized with the opportunity to rise. But I still feel that it's a ceiling for Ben Davies, Dyer. They're not going to give a 38 games continuous good performances. And I feel that the games which we'll watch it in the Arsenal game and we don't perform, then players will know that original way of how they're playing. So the Arsenal is going to be a big task. And with the squad, there's no chance. And we saw it against Watford. We have the ball. We have all possession. We have so much space. And we can only score 1 goal. Come on. Only one goal.
The thing that's getting me over it is obviously we're looking at New Year's Eve. Celtic announced they're signing 3 players ready when the window opens. Woke up yesterday, the window's open. Everton have made their first move. Newcastle are flexing their muscles with Trippier. And you look at it and you've got to think, they're saying that Conte hasn't met with Daniel or whatever. Why am I calling him by his first name? Levy, Parasite. And then you think, wait a minute, whether they've met or not, this is what Paratici is there for. Paratici and Conte have blatantly had this conversation. They blatantly know his key targets, and there's not even a move. There's not even a move. It's just the paper rumours, which I went through with Josh on his stream earlier. It's repeated. It's Kessie. It's Coutinho. It's Vlahovic. It's Dean Henderson. It's like all the rumours we've heard before. Make a goddamn move. Stop these goddamn rumours and paper talk. Alistair Gold has come out, and someone put in the comments correctly going, all of a sudden our budget isn't as good as it is. Like, I've heard all of this before. This has been said time and time again. Obviously, like we said, the main thing we need players in January. We need them quick in January. We have got I can't remember a January where we've had Chelsea, Arsenal, Chelsea, a cup game. And with us being so close to both of them in the league, trying to get top 4, this is the time we need to strike early. And yet again, we're going through the same nonsense and we have the same excuses.
And that's the thing. And people keep on backing Daniel Levy for what? He's brought the club to a stage, but when I want this club to be more ambitious and what we need right now. And if Daniel Levy is not backing, and it's a make or break for Levy this month. This month is do or die. if he's not going to invest anything in this club, and he's not going to sign any players, and he's not going to back Conte, there's no chance I want him to be the chairman on February the 1st. He needs to be out now, and Joe Lewis needs to sell his club. That's what needs to happen. If it's been more than 20 years and there's been excuses given again and again and again, and I don't want them excuses. I really want proper investment to be done. And to be serious, the players we're going to bring right now is just the first step to what we need to improve. And there's a lot of players which need to move on. We still have Ben Davis in this club. We have Dyer in this club. We have still Dele Alli in this club. We have a lot of Harry Winks. I know these players are performing, and we know these players have been here season in and season out, because these players know that this club isn't like either a Chelsea or City where they're going to bring in someone player going to in competition. They're just going to keep on supporting them again and again, or whatever shit we do. And that's why, if you want to see why Dele Alli doesn't perform, but he knows that, okay, nothing is going to happen to me. I'm going to be here. I'll be earning my money. There's no pressure from my side. And that needs to stop here right now. Competition for each and every player. And I don't get this excuse. We want Vlahovic, pay the bloody money, convince him. We have Antonio Conte. We have the capabilities to pay him what he wants. We have a sporting director. We have everything right now. And there's no excuse. It's just the amount we need to pay right now. And if we can convince him, he will be on the door in this week. And there's no excuse over here. And that we need to set this tone and over that. And talking about one player which I really want is that we need a creative player. That's something which I really want. I as much as Højbjerg and Skip are performing really well, they don't have that extra edge to create and score goals. And that's what we are lacking. And we've seen before, Christian Eriksen, there were games like this. He scores from outside the box. I remember Brighton, Crystal Palace in 2016-17, where we never score, they step up. So that's something which I think, for me, as of now, we need to address. And if Conte believes in Coutinho, bring him in, and that's what I want to say. But we seriously need to back, and there's no more excuses.
Well, Aravind, what Alistair Gold is saying this morning, he's saying in Antonio Conte's first meeting with the board about January transfer window, which this meeting was a week ago, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, he says he was told that money would be tighter following the summer business.
Following the summer business?
Yeah.
What did we do in the summer again?
Not a lot. We had a failed 75 million bid for Lautaro Martinez.
Do you know? No. That's the thing. We didn't have a foul bid. Apparently he was coming, but then Lukaku went to Chelsea. So we had the bid accepted, but then we waited for Chelsea to... Oh dear, I am getting it. See, the lies have already... I said this, didn't I? I said it all along. I mean, the good thing I've seen in the chat... First of all, before I go on what I've seen in the chat, Aravind, we've got you got a fan that said he's an Aravindist, which is Amzo. So you're getting love in the. But honestly, since I've said I'll be at the training ground, there's people saying that they'll join me. There's people posting the address of the training ground. Yeah, I mean, if this is, and I will say, I believe Alistair Gold over Sky Sports News all the time. But you know what I mean. I got a great deal of respect for Alistair. If this happens, we are. This is where we're heading, and we knew these lies were going to come out. It's taken till January, the 2nd, to say, yeah, in their first meeting, he's been told, guess what, the money ain't there. Surprise, goddamn surprise.
I think.
What summer business? We don't even have a plan for the January transfer window. What are we going to sign in the summer? It's bullshit. This is proper bullshit. And if this is the case, sorry to say, Conte is going to be leaving soon if this is the case, and back to square one. So that's the thing. I really don't believe in Daniel Levy as much as we are bought in Conte. Yes, Conte is a great manager. Conte needs to be backed. He needs to be backed. I know that needs to. I'm not telling him to spend. He's not going to spend 300 million. He's not a stupid person over there. He knows. He has judged the squad. He has bought in a good squad players. He's bought in Harry Winks. Davis playing really well. Come on, I don't get his excuse. Why doesn't Daniel Levy not back any of the manager? What's his problem? I don't know what problem he has in his life. It's like,
because we got a world-class stadium, and because we got a training ground,
we got a couple of golf courses.
Yeah, because we're going to build a skyscraper, because we got a skywalk. Like I said, I don't support Monopoly FC. I support Tottenham Hotspur FC, where the money goes on the players.
For spending that 1 billion on that stadium, if you have spent on transfers, have been somewhere else by now.
Look, at the end of the
He
day,
just
it is only the 2nd of January, so I think that we need to just see what happens. I know this is what Gold is saying, but we need to just see what happens before we start.
I do agree,
laying
but
in.
I want to give him the time. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm judging what has been Daniel Levy's record of spending, and whatever is said as of now, people will still believe, and I will see. And by the Arsenal game or by the Chelsea game, we'll have a clear idea about what our transfer plan is and who we're bought in, so we can have a better judgment. But I still feel that Antonio Conte won't be in this club without proper backing, and he knows that as much as a player performing, there'll be proper backing. So still 1% hope, but it's still Daniel Levy at the back who can screw up whatever he wants right now. So hopefully, please. I really beg you, if Daniel Levy, if you can actually go to YouTube and watch us play for 20 years over here, please just watch us screaming each and every the people from Brian over here who's been supporting Spurs and we are screaming. Please, for fuck's sake, back this manager. Come on, man, please. I can't stretch anymore. I really can't stretch anymore, and it's so pissing off going each and we know the mistakes and we keep on doing and we keep on screaming for what? Come on, please. He's come over here, he's brought us to an unbeaten run, showing us the talent. Okay, I agree. Pochettino was new. You can't back him, or Mourinho is a declining manager. You can't. So if this guy's performing, fans are back, money is coming in. What more do you want, man? I seriously don't understand what this guy really has against Spurs. Is he come here to destroy Spurs or improve Spurs? I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. And this is the last chance for him. If he is not going to be 31st, I'll be back here each and every stream, and you're going to see a different Arvin on January of 24th if there's no players.
You're the
Seriously,
24th, I'm the 13th. There you go. You got. I fly home on the
24th of
23rd,
January,
so you can take over from me.
Sorry?
I said I fly back to Canada at the moment on the 23rd, so you can take my place on the 24th.
You know what, Brian? You hold the ticket. We need to get this guy out. You're not going back.
Aravind, you've got a nice little spot in the studio waiting for you just there.
23rd. Wait till the January, till the transfer window gets over, because there's a lot of job for us to get this guy out. That's what I'm telling you right now. More than what these guys are doing at the back, there's a lot of jobs. I'm telling you, I want signings, and we need proper signings. And stop telling summer business. What do you guys do? We only got that shows a clear plan of this club. He just wants to extend the transfer window to just keep hold and see what goes around. No. We know what you are. We know what you are. So just shut up and get your checkbook out. Get your checkbook. You have the bloody money. I know this club. The joke is we can spend 400 million as per FFP, and that shows how much transfers we can do if we have the right amount of money. And that's not even an excuse. We don't need to sell players. We can legit buy players with the players we have right now, and that's the amount leverage we can spend in the transfer window. And you're telling me we have a 1 billion stadium and there's Joe Lewis and we can't even spend money? Sorry, mate. Sorry. Stop giving excuses after excuses. 20 years of excuses. I've listened to this. Daniel Levy, back Conte, or else you are going to be shown the true colors by Antonio Conte, your fans, and enough is enough. And that's what I want to say.
Absolutely brilliant call, Aravind. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year, my friend, and hopefully by the next time I see you, we'll see a new signing, at least one new signing through the door.
Yeah, one new signing. Come on. We need to build up something by this thing. Statement needs to be done, and against Chelsea, we are battering them. Keep the word.
Come on, you Spurs.
Always a pleasure, Aravind, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
We got Josh Spurs debates up next. Josh, what's up, man?
New Year.
Happy New
Big
Year,
up,
my
Ben.
brother.
Happy New Year, mate.
Happy
Big
New
up
Year to
Brian
you.
as well.
Big up
New Year,
Josh,
boys.
who's not in his car. My good God. Welcome
I'm
into
not in the car.
Miracles do happen.
I swapped out Daniel Levy Wi-Fi for proper Wi-Fi, man. So
Oh,
my
there you go.
connection's good.
Happy New Year to you, buddy, as well.
Well, if you're investing in your Wi-Fi, then what's Daniel Levy going to invest this January?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I think my view on it. First of all, congrats to Ben and Sim on the 100K, man. Bring on that 200. Bring on that 200K, mate. I reckon you'll do it by the summer.
Thanks,
Massive,
man.
massive
Much
big up to you guys,
appreciated.
man.
Much
Very humble,
appreciated.
very nice people, very supportive people, man. So people that don't know them personally, trust me, they are true gents, and I'm sure that Brian de Gaulle will back me on that as well, man.
Yeah,
So
ever so slightly. I don't really voice my opinions on Ben and Simi. I'm very quiet with what I think about them. No, they're just
He
the
keeps
best.
his cards very close to his chest, Mr.
I'm a
Brown.
closed book. I'm a closed book.
I think he's got posters of you in his room, man.
Why are you telling my secrets?
Anyway, yeah, I know, man. Share it. Come on, mate. But yeah, I just want to say about this flipping Daniel Levy situation, man. I just hope we're all wrong and he's gonna get the checkbook out. But I wanted to mention something about Conte. Do you guys not think, since he's found out potentially that we're not going to spend a lot in this window, his body language was a bit negative yesterday? I don't know about you guys, but I know we won and it was a hard fought win, and it was frustrating, and we didn't really create enough. But I kind of feel like there's a man there who feels let down. I think his face, looking at all his interviews, the way he's speaking, I sense that he's been told within the last few days, this is how it's going to be, because no one goes into a transfer window without a plan. So he's been told by Paratici or by Levy, listen, it's going to be tight. We'll have to sell. We'll have to get rid of Tanguy or Delhi or Doherty, whoever it is, raise funds, and then you can buy. I don't think he's happy, man. I can see, from what I can see from his body language and the way he's speaking, he's lost a bit of fire. And the reason he's lost a bit of fire, maybe he's tired, maybe the Christmas schedule, whatnot, New Year's Eve's taken it out of him. But I just hope I'm wrong. But I sense from his body language, he's been told, as per Alistair Gold's comments, that, mate, you're not going to get the players you want. You're not going to get the type of money you want. And he seems a bit depressed or a bit winded or a bit gutted.
I mean, that's interesting you say that, because it's been widely, every Spurs fan said it when he came in, didn't they? If he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to walk. The guy's going to walk. But I don't see that at the moment. I don't see that. I see the same Conte since when he first joined. I really do. But I think time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. We'll see what happens. I mean, how are you looking at it?
So the way I'm looking, I mean, yesterday we talked about, I'm sure loads of people have seen the celebration when we actually scored, and then he realised he was right on top of Ranieri, and he kind of showed a bit of respect, like, oh, sorry, mate. But listen, it was such a dull performance yesterday. And I think that was, Joe, it was so draining. Even us watching the game, all of us watching must have been like, oh my God. So actually having to stand and do all the walking he does, it's been non-stop for him as well. Non-goddamn stop.
He keeps talking about this meeting, does he? I'm going to have this meeting. You think those three would be on a WhatsApp group?
So Josh, this is the bit.
Talking since November, let alone I'm still waiting for a meeting.
But Josh, you got to remember that he came in only 7 games ago, Conte. He's needed to do an evaluation of the squad to know what he needs to get rid of and to know what he needs to bring in.
I don't know if his words were, I'm waiting for a meeting. I don't know which journalist, the way they write it, but if he's waiting for a meeting or waiting for the phone to ring, that's not good, man. That's over professionalism. He should be in that boardroom since the 20th of December or even the beginning of December, saying, right, guys, targets, these are going to do. We're going to pull the trigger January the 1st or 2nd. Look at Everton. They've made their first signing. You mentioned a few there. Where's the trigger? I'm waiting for this trigger, man. I just hope, because every day that passes, my blood boils that we're not in genuine category A news about discussing signings, because we cannot just keep going like this. Every January, we're sitting there hoping, praying, and nothing happens. Bergwijn was the last signing.
So, you got to look at this now. If your blood's boiling, just imagine how my blood is doing. It's like a volcano erupting. But the bit that's annoying me with this, but we haven't had a meeting with Levy. We haven't had a meeting with Levy. You're not meant to be meeting with Levy anymore. That's what Paratici is there for. Paratici is the link between Levy and Conte.
But does he hold the power?
Well, this is the whole thing we got to get to. And like we said, what we needed to do. Whenever we do our business, it takes time, and then we get them in, then they got to come in, then they got to get to match fitness, and we need to target these players quickly and get a mark, because the players that we're going to be linked with or going for, I'm sure we're not the only suitors. I'm sure we're not.
But Brian, why would you say I'm waiting for a meeting? You'd say we're discussing
wait a sec. There's been some update from Alistair Gold in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
And he says Tottenham have held talks with Wolves over signing Adama Traore.
Here we go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, but that's not, again, I mean...
Listen, I'm just going to go and have some... I'm just going to go and have some pie. I'm going to have some pie for lunch. See you lot next time, yeah?
So I think Alistair is listening to us, or Paratici or whoever. But again, this is a rumour that we've been linked with time and time again.
I'm happy. If we get Adama Traore, I am flipping happy. That boy, if he can't score, just bloody assist. I don't care if he can't score.
No,
I know,
the thing is, I'm going to say on Adama Traore, yeah, everyone clowns on him for his end product, right? His end product breaking through into the box, not shooting well, not passing well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I actually think his crossing ability is really good, Adama Traore. And I think as a right wing back, with the strength that he has, with the pace that he has, I think he's a better option than Emerson.
He'll give Sonny a break. Can you imagine him and Sonny up front as well with his pace and power?
I don't think that's going to be his role in the squad, though. I think it's going to be right wing back.
Listen, again, if he comes in, like we've all said, if Conte wants him, I want him. It's as simple as that. As people have been saying, listen, when he gets on the ball, he is an absolute nuisance. He can be an absolute... Like we've seen at close quarters what he's done to us. They just haven't been able to finish the job off. He is a nightmare. And where we were looking like we can't beat the low block, it's like give him the ball and he'll just run through the low block. So I personally don't want him as our number one target, but if that's the way Conte wants to go, then I'm 100%.
You know what it is with him is obviously he's playing with lesser players, so maybe that responsibility being shared across Kane, Son, Moura, Traore will allow him to express himself a bit more. If he misses a chance, he's not necessarily criticised as much as he is now. But I think that would be a good signing. I'll take that now. I'll drive there. Where is he? I'll bring him for you, Levy, man. But are we going to get the deal done? Let's wait and see. But my view on it is, in the next 7 days, if we're not triggering and we're not in category A news, like Alistair Gold just mentioned there, then we have to start worrying about this top four race, because Harry Kane will down tools in the summer again. And why shouldn't? If we're gonna be Levy out, why shouldn't Harry Kane be Levy out? Come on, guys. He's a fan. You know, he loves the club and he wants what's best for the club. So let's see what happens anyways. But about the game, because I did some analysis on it last night on my channel, I think Watford and, you know, teams moving forward will play this way against Spurs, because what we lack is width. And we saw that last night. We saw that against Southampton. What we're very good at is down the middle. We saw that against Palace. We saw that against Liverpool. So I think Arsenal will be an easier game. I think will be high scoring. I think Chelsea will be an easier game. My worry is these away days where, you know, they've got the home crowd, massive big block in the middle. We ain't got the width. And I think Conte, you know, he's looking at that yesterday thinking, at Chelsea, I had a few options off the bench. You know, last night, Bergwijn wasn't on the bench, was he? He was injured, I think, still. Or is he, I don't know if he's carrying a niggle.
Our options off the bench looked weak yesterday, didn't they?
Yep.
Weak. And I think he's looking at his bench. And you've got a couple of bad apples. Well, I don't know about Dele Alli. It looks like he's trying, but doesn't trust him. Tanguy looks like he's just not trusted at all. He's looking at that bench and he can't change the game. You know, he brought on Lo Celso, Winks, and Brian Hill. But, you know, like, I'm looking at that bench thinking improve that bench, because that first 11 probably, if it stayed fit, will give us a chance for top four. But they're not all going to stay fit. It's only a matter of time before, I don't want to jinx it, before certain players get injured because of wear and tear. I'm so glad about the European conference crap, because we just don't need those double game weeks, in my opinion. We've got the League Cup, we've got the FA Cup, we've got the Premier League. But the thing is, a lot of teams will play like that against us. They'll block the middle and they'll push us down the sides, guys. And we haven't got, bar Reguilon, on that right side, we haven't got the talent to penetrate, man. So it's going to be frustrating. Expect more monkeys on the back. Expect, Spurs frustrated time and time again. And that's what's going to happen, man. Until we can actually play intricate football in the middle, which Manchester City do, which the better teams can do. But we don't have that at the moment. And the other point I want to make is Pierre and Skip need to attack more. When you're playing three at the back, your DMs need to push up when you're attacking, properly push up. They do it. Højbjerg had an opportunity yesterday. Skip squared it to Reggie for that long shot. But I want to see Skip and Pierre come out of that DM role and almost become an attacking defensive midfielder and attack more, because I don't see no other way. We're going to support that front three. Sonny looks tired. Lucas does look a bit tired to me. He's put everything into it in the last few weeks. Harry Kane's huffing and puffing, getting better slowly. But for me, those two DMs have to start chipping in. I want to see Højbjerg and Winks and Skip attack, man. Attack, like almost like how N'Golo Kante attacks whilst doing his defensive duties. But I don't think it's as bad as it looks, guys. Yesterday, we were unlucky with the referee as well. Again,
should have had a
two
penalty,
games.
shouldn't we?
Oh, bruv. Like I said, I was doing it on my channel last night. You go and have a look at it. I've taken screenshots of it. Both of them get pulled down. And I don't like to be, a typical football fan that just supports his own team. I'm looking at it from all angles. I think Arsenal playing well, as per the previous caller. Yep. That's going to, they look good at the moment. But those two penalty decisions, I don't know why VAR can't intervene. What's the point in having technology if it's only allowed based on human error? If you know what I mean. Why can't VAR go in the referee's ear, which they always are in the referee's ear, and say, mate, you've missed a tackle or a foul. The linesman's missed it, but we've seen it clearly. That should be a penalty, man. Because the game's, Arsenal will complain about their decision. The game's becoming ugly, and it's just annoying. Because you know what, Josh King on goal, Lloris puts his fingertips that round the post. That's 1-0 Watford, and you've got these two penalty calls. You know what I mean? It's ruining the game, man.
Was the Lloris one a penalty last night, do you reckon?
I think he got enough of the ball. So goalkeepers always get the advantage because, they're kind of breed of their own in that way. And if they get the ball, doesn't matter if they take the man as well, as long as they get enough of the ball. And I thought he just got enough of the ball. If he just fingertips it, even then he probably would have got the decision in his way, Lloris. But he actually got enough of the ball, in my opinion. But the pictures, depending on what angle you look at, you'll make your mind up on the angle. But I've looked at 4 or 5 angles of it. For me, it wasn't a penalty, guys. It was actually a very good decision, a very good refereeing decision. Because goalkeepers, Lloris has been saving us, guys. The other thing I want to say is about Hugo Lloris is he's been our man of the match. Southampton, Liverpool. Yesterday, he made 2 great saves in the second half. I know we were all over Watford, but without Hugo, without him running out, Josh King on goal, without that save, not Josh King on goal, the sub that came on for Dennis, and Josh King's long shot, where would we be? Do you know what I mean? Typical Spursy letting a goal against the run of play. So big shout out to Hugo Lloris, man. He's definitely kept
Josh,
up.
On that as well, and Cody mentioned it on the fan show yesterday. What you've got to admire about Hugo as well is obviously in games like that, his focus has to stay razor sharp and he has to stay in the game the whole time. When you've got nothing to do or very little to do, it's hard to keep your focus sometimes. But he is always on point.
He's actually showing world-class form, game in, game out. And is that down to the back three? Probably yes, because he feels more confident in the consistency of playing with the same team. Yep. Ben Davis, he knows all of them well, to be honest. He's been there well before 3 of them. The wing-backs tracking back, that helps attacks on our goal. We are playing more solid football, guys. And Conte mentioned in his interview, said, I'm happy with the commitment and the solidarity at the back, and we have to give a lot of credit to that back line because not many teams are opening us up. As it stands, we haven't played. Let's see now, innit? We're playing 2 good one informed team and 1 good team. But I think that back 3 has helped Lloris, obviously the wing backs. But the other thing, a question to you guys is, if Lloris goes, who's the next captain? Because Harry Kane's obviously down tools. Maybe a bit of love lost there. Sonny signed a new contract. Man loves Tottenham, but is he a leader? You've then got Pierre and Skip. And for me, it's one of those 2. I almost think Skip, but maybe he's a bit too young. Maybe he's a few years off it. I don't know. Just want to get your thoughts on it, man.
For me, captain, I've actually been saying for a few years, talking about Eric Dyer, that he's got a lot of captain material in him, but I didn't know if he was good enough to be a captain, if you know what I mean, over the past couple of years. I mean, he's performing now, but how long is he going to be performing for? And is he going to slip into those old Dyer ways, you know what I mean? And are we going to eventually replace him? I don't know. So I think the 3 candidates are probably Harry Kane, Pierre, and Eric Dyer, I do think Skip is a bit too young for the role. I do.
Yeah.
I think in a few years' time, then maybe he can grow into that role. But right now, I think those three are the candidates.
I'm going to swap Dyer. I can see why he said Dyer, but I'm going to swap for this guy, but only if his English is good, and I don't know right now, is within time Romero.
Yeah, but, he's only played a handful of games.
Yeah, but he has got the attributes. He has got the stature. He has got the know-how, and obviously with his attitude and his commitment and his aggression, if his English gets to a point, obviously I don't know what his English is like now. He could be fluent. I don't think he is. He's definitely up there. But I agree. Like Mourinho said, Skip is a future Tottenham captain. I reckon if Lloris goes and it becomes, let's say, Pierre or Kane. Once one of them go and it became first, you'd imagine it'd go to Pierre. I then reckon the next one is Ollie.
Another reason why I don't think we can actually give it to Pierre is because he's not a nailed-on starter every game.
Right now,
with Winks coming in, performing, with Spurs looking for another central midfielder as well. You're going to look at rotation in those positions. So if he's not going to play every single game, can you give him the captaincy?
No, you're right.
You're right, and that's why a goalkeeper normally, you can. We've been lucky with Hugo. He's pretty much over his Spurs career performed well. Pretty much, he's had clangers, but all goalkeepers do.
Yeah.
You look at Alisson, De Gea, bar your Manuel Neuers. You get very few once in a generation goalkeepers that just consistently perform. So, props to him. But another guy who's not getting the credit, and I know Brian, you'll love this one, is Davinson Sanchez. 100%. That man. Thank you. That man, right, he's cold, he's calm, he's turning into an assassin, man. The way he's celebrating, do you know what I mean? He's cool, he's calm. I'm falling in love with this man. Do you know what I mean? He is showing me and a lot of Tottenham fans that he's got it. But what he was missing was probably a little bit up there. Probably, I don't know, a bit of luck, you could say, a little bit of mental rash decisions. But big up Davinson Sanchez. And if Romero comes in, I say you leave Sanchez in. I say you leave him in, man. I think Romero's got to earn his spot. I know he's got the price tag, and I know he's had some good performances. For me, just carry on Davinson Sanchez. Please do not wheel him out when Romero's fit, because I'm loving that back three at the moment. And especially, I think he's been the best. For me, Davinson Sanchez has been the best of that back three and the most improved player as well.
Yeah, I would agree with you defensively. I still think he is left a bit wanting when he's on the ball and leaves me very worried every time he gets on the ball.
You've got to say it's easing when he's on the ball now. It's got to be. I mean, yesterday there were a couple of he took a swing at one and then a header that he tried to.
He's getting better.
He's getting a lot better. Yeah. And like we said, he looks so much better in the back three, like he did with Jan and Toby. Now Jan and Toby were obviously levels. And Josh, talking about when Romero comes back, listen, Romero is levels above him. Is levels, but you're right. What you want to see is competition for places, and it gets to the point. Should Romero come back? When it comes to a game where, let's say, okay, we need to rest Romero and Davidson's coming in, or Dyer gets dropped and Davidson comes in, beforehand we were like, oh no, here we go. Whereas now, like, fine, Davidson's in, brilliant, okay, fine. That's what you need in a successful squad. You want players really competing.
There's a fine line between momentum and squad rotation, which you have to do in the Premier League when you're in 4-5-3-4 competitions, whatever it is. So, yeah, you got to pull him out at some point. But I think, letting Mikey just walk in with the red carpet, that might for Sanchez, that might do his confidence.
Yeah, no, that I agree.
I think on the left,
Romero will definitely have to earn his place back. That's for sure.
I hope so. I hope the price tag and the Italian background don't just make him walk back in with Conte there. But I think the other thing is Davis passes into Reggie quite a bit. They've got that little relationship. Emerson probably gets a bit of tough love from Sanchez when it comes to, like you guys just talked about there, the on-the-ball movement. So, I think Emerson will improve when Sanchez plays in that third right back purely because of the outlet and his passing ability.
But just 29 crosses in that first half yesterday. 29.
Yeah.
Not one chance created from them.
Not good enough, man. Our accuracy was 19% on crosses. I mean, that's both sides, but a lot of it, of that 19, probably 13, 14, 15% was Emerson. Yeah. Now, you know what? The guy's just got here. It is a difficult league. It's fast. It's in your face. No one gives you time, right? So we give everyone a little bit of that first season bounce to get used to this league. And we've seen many players come in and take a season to adjust. and then they get that pre-season, they get, used to the pace and the style of the Premier League compared to, any other league in the world is different. So I do have a bit of sympathy for Emerson because I think he's trying and the commitment's there, but he's just a bit headless in certain moments. But he's getting into positions. He's our only right back at the moment. There's no way we should be booing him in any way, shape or form. That's completely off the scale at this
Who's
point.
booing him?
No, I know some fans are saying, oh, yeah, this. But wait, hold up. The guy's just got here. Let him, kind of almost get used to that position. He's played in a 4, he's played in a 3 now. I think with Emerson, look, coaching's a great thing, yeah, and football's about coaching more than anything as well. There's room for improvement, and Conte keeps saying there's room for improvement. That's definitely in his top 3. He mentioned it yesterday. He said crossing is not good enough. So let's give him time. But we've got a window now. We're sitting in a window. If we get Traore, then happy days. Do you know what I mean? Fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed, man.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I just think, let's not be too hard on Emerson because he knows himself. I'm sure when he goes home and these boys are on social media, I'm sure even Conte's told him, the coaches have told him, you got to perform. In fact, your manager's coming out in public media saying our crossing was shit. So I think the good news is we've identified a weakness in the team. And the good news is that he's under one of the best coaches in the world, and it'll be amazing news if we can get Traore. And you've got me excited, mate. You've got me back bubbling. You've got my beans going, man. I haven't read that from Alistair Gold, but if that's true, mate, that's just got me smiling again, man.
Yeah, well, one thing I will say, Josh, obviously we hope it something materialises from it, but we've been down this road before, led up this garden path before, where it's all good. We're in talks.
Brian, don't start making any bets now.
No, I'm not making bets. I'm not making bets on this one. This is.
Where's that tattoo going?
Well, mate, do you know what? I was actually thinking. I hadn't said to Ben. I'm actually thinking they've got to do I spoke to the guy that did it because he's just got to do a little touch up on the a couple of the letters. And I'm actually
have you spoken to him? Have you?
Yeah, I spoke to him before I came back, and I'm actually thinking of getting 100,000 tattooed underneath it.
Oh boy!
So I may add 100,000 to it.
I'm surprised, man. You ain't got Enoch out on you, man.
No, mate, I'll never put anything to do with those bastards on my body. So I may get 100,000. I've also said any trophies Conte wins.
You know what? I can see it, man. I can see it in 50 years, man. Brian's just gonna be full of "We Are Tottenham" milestones.
I'll just be a walking, talking advertisement for them. But yeah, I may get 100,000 underneath it or above it. We'll see.
He's like the "We Are Tottenham" mascot, innit?
Come on, Brian, number one, Brian, number one.
I've worked damn hard to do this, mate. I've worked damn hard to get to this pole position.
What's your views on Chelsea away, lads? Really quickly, you confident? Yeah, both you guys.
I'm not confident in going there to win. I'm not confident in any away game at the moment. I mean, we just about got over the line over Watford. We should have beaten Southampton. I mean, we should be winning these games, and we're not playing well, but we're playing well enough to win the games, if you know what I mean. Chelsea is going to be a different kettle of fish. Obviously, they're going through a hard time at the moment, but I think we can sneak away there with a draw and then take them back to the lane and beat them.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Apparently, Lukaku's not in the squad, so
yeah.
He'll be rested, obviously, and he might come back for that game. It may be just that he's giving him a temporary slap, and he comes back
just
for
like
the
the
Spurs.
Aubameyang thing, isn't it? Something's come out, or they've done something against their code of conduct, or whatever. It's don't care who you are, off you go. Not in the squad, so who knows? But
you know what? All this stuff about XG and stuff like that. People compare XG. The XG's great, but you look at Liverpool against Leicester. If you look at the XG versus Leicester, was way above it. It was like 2.8 or whatever it was, nearly 3. And I'm looking at a Chelsea fan saying, yeah, we've got a better XG, but it's like, hold up, mate. It's not always about XG. It's about taking those chances. I see us going there and nicking it away, man. I'm getting ready for that. And if anyone's got a spare ticket, let me know, man. I'll give you whatever you want for it. Chelsea away, let's go.
I might have something for you, Josh. Message
I'll give
me.
you a 10, mate. No problem. £10 done. Let me know.
Message me, but an hour ago, I don't know, I never saw this. An hour ago, Sky Sports reporting that Jose Mourinho is very interested in Tanguy Ndombele going to Roma. So that's an interesting one. And apparently Juventus also keeping close tabs on him. So it looks as though there could be some movement.
Juventus can have him for delete.
Ndombele, yeah, with Ndombele.
You know what? The way I look at Tanguy is a beautiful woman who's not committed.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't want to be in that relationship. You're not going to achieve a lot. You're just going to be back and forth, and it's so frustrating. But if an offer comes in, my worry is Levy's going to want his money back.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that Levy, he's not dumb. You know what I mean? He's not stupid. Well, he is in some sense, but you know, when you look at Tanguy and Ndombele, he's not playing. His value is only going to go down. So now is the most you're going to get from him. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? If I'm a European elite club, here is one of the most talented midfielders in the world available. Yeah. You look at it from that view, right? And in a league that he doesn't want to work hard in because maybe it's too quick for him, maybe it's too much. So bring him into Spain or bring him into Italy, where you might get a little bit more space, and the style of football allows someone like Tanguy to showcase what he can do. Come in and get him because he's a brilliant talent. There's no Spurs fan denying his talent. What we deny is his commitment, right? And maybe the league is just too much for him. 50% of players that come into this league don't make it, regardless of the fee. So he's another one that bites the dust, you know. And you know, I think he will go on to do well, but not in the Premier League, man. I can't see that boy. What is he? An attacking midfielder that can't defend? Is he a DM that sits deep, that feeds? Do you know what I mean? It's just a crazy one. It's a mess. It's a mess. And it's 5 managers that have gone through Tanguy. Do you know what I mean?
Just like Joe Rodon, really, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, Rodon's a disappointing one because I like. There's parts of Joe Rodon that I think he's committed. He wants it. He's a bit of a warrior in him, but if he's not good enough, emotions aside, he's not good enough. And again, Conte's the latest manager to not even give him a chance. Do you know what I mean? So be it, guys. We've got to get rid of the lesser players and getting some better players. But listen, big up yourselves, man. Enjoy your 100k weekend.
Go
and have 100 shots. And get Simi.
I'm going to have 100 samosas. Is that what I'm going to have?
I can do 100 shots. I'll do 100 shots.
Get Simi smashed as well on behalf of everyone.
100 shots of Coca-Cola for me.
Sim is isolating right now, unfortunately.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So he's chilling with his dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough, man. Big up, guys. Well done.
Josh, always a pleasure, brother.
And Chelsea away. Hopefully see you there, mate.
All right. Give me a message, yeah? WhatsApp me.
I will do. All right, pal. All right. See you there. See you there, everyone.
Bye,
see you later, buddy.
So that was Josh. A comment, and this is a quote from Antonio Conte from Football Italia, and he says, there will be new signings. When I was appointed, they said that we would meet to talk about it. We need to make our assessments to understand where we are and where we want to get. So he's promising new signings this January.
Yeah, so he's been promised them. Let's see if they get delivered. This is the thing. Alistair Gold has just come out and said his piece, and then within minutes, Traore. Let's see what happens. I mean, one thing I do want to know about Traore, a lot of people I've been seeing in the comments, out of the Spurs family and the Spurs community, it's kind of more we're against it than for it. But I know on this channel we have a resident Wolves fan who is always in the chat. So put a chat in there. I think it's F1 Wolves fan or whatever.
Wolves Fi or something.
Yeah, put something in. Would you be happy to see Traore go, or is he that vital to your success? Let's see what he's got to say.
And we've got a few super chats here as well. The Jorical saying, we're fixing Royale's lack of end product with Traore. The worst end product stays in football. Stats in football, I think he means.
Yep.
With that, yeah, I guess. But I think Traore plays a different role for Wolves. And I think that if you bring him at right wing back for Tottenham, I actually think it can work. I think it can work. And I think Conte, with the coaching that he does, he makes a lot of players better. You know, he's already improved Lucas Moura's end product straight away. Yeah. So I think he can do wonders with Adama Traore. I really do.
You look at that end product as well. I mean, that little ball to Kane for that little lob thing. What a ball to pick out, like a little Christian Eriksen dink. Was a fantastic ball. He's definitely improved his end product. And like we said, Traore's got all the attributes to be an astonishing right wing back. He just needs to focus on his end product.
I
and he's
Conte
frightening.
can definitely bring that out.
Oh, I agree with you completely there.
Another super chat from Jay Taylor saying, back three, Big Dave, Romero and Davis. Dyer's not quick enough for me. Chavs away. We will win 2-0. Come on, you Spurs, and Enoch out.
Yep, and the Wolves fan has already come back to us. Thank you. Said 20 to 30 million, somewhere around there, he'd be happy with. So maybe that's the feeling of Wolves fans as well, that they'd happily see him go for that amount of money.
Would you prefer to see a Lamperty in or a Adama in?
I think just from what I've seen, I would say Lamptey. I would say Lamptey, but listen, like I said, and we go through here. I mean, if Conte believes in this player and goes for him, then I will quickly change my mind to what he says, because finally we've got a manager that we know. Unlike a Mourinho, there was that comment that Mourinho can make great players elite, but he can't make good players great. Well, Conte can do the lot.
Yeah.
So wherever Conte goes and whatever avenue he wants to pursue, I am fully with him.
All right. On the Conte bandwagon, everyone come and join us. But that, I think, is it from us for Good Morning Tottenham. We'll be back for player ratings, Tottenham update, a few other bits and pieces as well. Me and Brian, you're going to see a lot of this guy's face this week. Me and Brian are taking the show all week. But thank you.
We are Tottenham on tour.
Exactly. We are Tottenham on tour are back.
We are indeed.
But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you all very soon for the player ratings. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.